Hello my beautiful and lovely gamers, my name is Jonal. I'm finally done with my last exam, and great thanks for asking. So we're finally ready to just pump out content. As I have my summer break, I will be working this summer, of course, trying to make in some money to pay down student loan and stuff like that, and setting up private coaching. And I will also be streaming, actually, doing, I think, the upcoming weeks, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday that's coming up. I will most likely actually be running like 8-hour streams or something like that. I will have to check out a little bit how it works out with my schedule, but I just want to try to do that. We would do coaching in Overwatch. We'll do all kinds of cool stuff, hopefully, there. So stay tuned for more talk about that on the Discord server, my Twitter, the community page, and YouTube. So today we're talking about Zenyatta and focusing a little bit about how he's looked upon from a more competitive aspect of the game, and also tips and tricks and stuff that hopefully can help you guys improve as a Zenyatta player and hopefully carry. I've been playing him a lot more lately, as I have now another my 5th account. Tell me down below how many fucking smurfs you guys have. I have 5 accounts now or something, that I'm gonna use as a support, like, only. It's a little bit of collaboration with a friend of mine, my best friend Kajelio. But anyway, let's talk about Zen. And that's more likely focused, let's talk about focusing on his transcendence. So what a lot of people look upon Transcendence is that Transcendence is a way for me to deny ultimates, and that is, kind of true. So if they Dragon Blade, I will burn. If they Blade, I trance. If they grab, I trance, right? What you should look upon it as, and this is the better way, and this will avoid so many mistakes. I can already vouch for that, as I have seen this been done by high Grandmaster teams, all the way down to players, is that you should look upon Zenyatta's Transcendence as any other ultimate, that this is a way of us to win this upcoming team fight. It's an advantage to win a team fight. And what does Transcendence actually bring to the table? Well, first of all, it is a saving grace ultimate. It heals insane amount of damage, and it essentially does, as long as you don't get fucking one shot, it's very difficult to damage through. So it grants you almost immortality, right? So okay, it's a sustain ultimate. It also does bring out, when you pop trance, you lose damage output, as you lose Zenyatta damage from it. So that's also, like, kind of on the con side. You gotta look upon it like that. Yes, we grant immortality to ourselves, but it also makes sure that we can't have the Zenyatta damage. So we actually lose a little bit of damage. It's one of the reasons that Soundberry is used as an offensive ultimate compared to Zenyatta's Transcendence. Now, outside of that, if it's also a build ultimate, because we cannot, in theory, die while trance is up, we can use it to sustain ourselves, and therefore keep ourselves in the fight so we can build ultimate. So if you have a Reinhardt on 80% before the fight starts, or a Zarya on 80% on their ultimate, you can bet your ass that they will have that ultimate. As long as the Zen uses trance correctly, you have grab and shatter for this fight. Because the Transcendence, they will most likely ult first. If they have grab and you have grab on 8 and they have grab, they will grab first. We can pop trance, we can sustain, and so on. Now, what a lot of people, of course, what you also have to see on the other side of the enemy's perspective is that you guys are ult batteries. So what I hate seeing, and this has happened a couple times in rank, is that the enemy team will grab. It's a last fight, but for some reason there are Zarya grabs, right? It happens in all ranks, and you pop trance, and all of a sudden, what your Zenyatta is doing, he's just like saying, hey, so you guys burn shatter, do you want your shatter back? Because, like, I can just, like, heal my team through this, and there's no way we're winning this fight, but popping trance because they popped grab, right? Oh, they grabbed, I have popped trance, even though the fight is already lost. So at that point, you're just giving them an infinite ult charge, right? Until trance comes out, you're just charging up the ult batteries, instead of letting them just finish you off and get practically no ult charge, get a reset fast, and then go again. Now, trance, what I see a lot of time, and this is like my biggest, is that people let people die or let team fights get lost, even though we have trance. So a very common example you can see here in Step Banana is, like, the enemy team will either have Blade or they will have Graviton, right? They will have one of them, and we have trance. So we will engage the enemy team. The enemy team will then, there will be a fight here, right? There will be a fight, whatever. Let's say the checkpoint is over here, right? So we're almost at the checkpoint, right? If we win this fight, essentially we get second point. So what a lot of people will do is, like, okay, let's say our team is losing this. We haven't gotten any, like, we haven't lost a member, so maybe we lost one guy, right? But essentially we're losing this. They're winning this. Not really on any ultimates. Maybe they popped Sound Barrier or something. But they haven't committed a Blade. They haven't committed a grab, but we're still losing. And what a lot of Zenyatas will do here is like, oh, but they don't pop Blade or grab, so I won't trance. instead of saying, okay, we are already engaged, like our Reinhardts, for example, are already locked heads, right? We are already kind of going head to head with the Rhines, and like we engage in this fight. I can trans this in here, sustain my entire team, give ourselves back some coolers, right? Because you don't need to, for example, sorry bubble during trans. You can recharge your shield a little bit during trans, right? I will recharge the ultimate. We can push aggressively. They will be forced back because they don't have trans, because we don't trans. We can get picks, we can commit with ultimates here, we can be really aggressive and maybe win that. And what will happen if we don't? If we don't get a pick, they will grab Blade, right? And at that point, okay, we force out grab Blade, right? At that point, we forced out grab Blade because they had to commit with ultimates because we reinstated ourselves with full health, or they counter trans, right? And at that point, they will most likely even still use ultimate. So by doing this, we're committing to the fight. We might win the fight, and even if we don't get decisive win because the enemy team will be low and we will have a huge advantage in the fight, they will most likely commit with ultimate and they will burn it. We will wipe and we will reset. That will cost us one fight. Instead of us losing this fight, not committing with trans, next fight, we might lose that as well, or they might grab, or they might blade, and we will trans, neutralizing the ultimates, but we don't get a winning chance. They grab us, we trans it, okay, now it's an even fight. Instead of us we were losing, we trans, we get an advantage, we might win, we don't win, they grab us, right? At that point, it's like, okay, we lost anyway, right? So it's much better to commit with the transcendence if it's a winnable fight, to force out ultimates, to force out and give yourself an edge. We also build ultimates in this so we can come back with ultimate and normally force out more ultimates from the enemy team than just giving up and never popping trans because, oh, I'm only holding it for Graviton and Dragonblade. Now, a couple of other tips and tricks with Zenyatta. Left clicks versus right clicks. A lot of people do this wrong. So, a lot of people, for some reason, decide that, okay, this is King's Road, the enemy team is pushing, so I will do this, and then I will do this at the Rhine shield. So the damage, an orb from the right click and an orb from the left click, right? If you do this or if you do that, it does the same amount of damage on hit, but you're about, because of the fire rate difference, right? Look at this versus here, right? Because the fire rate and because there is a charge animation and then there's a fire animation where we can't do anything, we lose about half our damage output because of the fire rate. And we lose the fact that now I can discord, I can heal, I can do whatever I want, right? But now, okay, now reloaded. But now I'm caught in animation. So if someone needs healing, I need to there, and now I can heal, right? So it also makes my team more vulnerable, or at least makes my decision making, what I can do right now, less flexible. Besides that, when you want to use your right click then, right? Because I said, okay, the enemy team is pushing, you want to break shield, whatever. You can do these very, very tight angles. Notice again that I'm not moving my mouse right now. Right, I'm not moving my mouse, I'm just pre-aiming the corner and spamming, right? This is very important for Zenyatta. If you ever watched Jonal, he does this a lot. Like, he just pre-fire, and then he doesn't always strafe like this, right? Like, now I can kite this entire corner, right? From here, right? With only minimal mouse movement, right? And mostly just strafing. Now, besides that, what you want to do is, for example, let's say that there's someone, let's say that we're standing here, we're spamming, and we see, let's say, a Genji or someone path through a hotel. Okay. So now, like, I can't shoot through the wall, so I don't lose damage output by charging a right click. Except that they can hear me, of course, charging the right click. So if I fire this, when a really good player, and you can use this if you're, for example, a tracer player, if you hear Descent charging a right click, as soon as he fire now, if he didn't, for example, if you were at that door, and I charge at this door, right? When this goes, then you die me. Because at that point, I will be caught in my shooting animation. And that's a really good way. But what you want to do is then, for example, you mark the Genji. Okay, you charge this, and now it didn't lose damage, and now you can shoot whatever. So you use it to prepare it. Same if the Zarya has a bubble, and you don't want to break the bubble. She bubbles in front of you. Okay, then you charge the right click. As soon as the bubble breaks, boom, 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 she gets 4 in the head, right? The same goes for Genji deflects. The Genji is deflecting in front of you. You can charge this, and then you can release it as soon as he's done with deflecting. Outside of that, remember that when you're placing the this is really, really nice Widow Peaks, because we, of course, use it for these longer range spam shots to one-tap a potential enemy. When you charge the right click and when you release it, you duck. Your animation, your hitbox, he ducks, he bows almost down to his opponent. And if you crouch on top of that, your hitbox, like your head hitbox, legitimately just like fucking disappears. It's like insane. So if you're peeking a Widowmaker, what you can do is you can peek him and then you can crouch as you release the orbs to make your head hitbox almost just disappear on the dot. And it's really, really effective for longer range snipes. That is in general, when it comes to who you should discord and so on, you should discord whoever is targeted by DPS, especially in solo queue. As in solo queue, right, you don't have the coordination of a shot caller. So if you see someone that's supposed to get smacked by the Rhine, you can discord it, right? And so there's some rules for ghost comp and whatever, but you should shoot whoever your team is fighting and whoever should take damage. Of course, discord for your self preference. If you wanna carry, then you a lot of time discord whatever target you are about to try to kill, especially if they have the aim to follow up on that. But don't discord a target and if your team is hitting someone else, especially in solo queue, and then yell for that second target. Like if the enemy team is fighting the Rhine and you see a Widowmaker top left, or you see a Mercy gliding by, don't discord the Mercy if you can't kill her and yell her name when your team is already smacking the Rhine. Just discord the Rhine so your team can hopefully burn that guy super fast. Now, besides that, guys, I hope you like this. Like and subscribe with bell notification, all that. It's so good to fucking be back at YouTube. So, video suggestions and all kind of stuff is always appreciated. My Discord, my Twitter, and my Twitch, which I will start streaming on this summer, at least a little bit, is linked down in the description below. I love you guys very much. Thank you for supporting the channel, even during my exam period. I love you guys very much. My name is Jonal, and you guys, as always, keep the enemy in your crosshairs.